What's up, everybody? Arnie here, hanging out with AJ, our new content manager for the MEC, and I want to pop in and do a special session for you guys. So we got some big updates. First off, on the MEC, the content. We're bringing back podcasts. We're coming on YouTube, all over the place, and adding some more stuff to the unit section. So that is all possible thanks to this guy here. So make sure you guys drop a comment and say thanks to AJ, because we're going to be bringing some epic stuff. But what I really wanted to cover with you guys was why? Why are we doing this? Why are we making this move? How has my content strategy changed over the last couple of years? Why did we drop the podcast? Why did we never get started on YouTube? Why are we doing it now? And how does this actually contribute to six-figure business growth and hopefully next year, seven figures? So I wanted to introduce you guys to AJ first off. He's going to be showing up a whole lot more, doing some interviews, helping out with the podcast and YouTube and all that stuff. So you'll be seeing plenty of him. So you gotta get used to him, okay? But he's a pretty cool guy, and so we got some good stuff for you guys today. So AJ is going to interview me on the whole content strategy, and you guys can get a behind-the-scenes look at how everything's been, where it's going, where it's at now, and our challenges in doing this as well. So super excited to dive into this. So if you guys are watching, you want to learn how to turn your social media activity into dollars in the bank, let me get a $sign in the comments down below. I want to know for sure that you guys are here to use social media to make money, not just be entertained. I know our live streams are fun, but we want you to make some money with them too. So hop on, say hello, and excited to get going. So let's kick it off, AJ.
Cool. So I think we want to dive into like your content strategy for this year, 2018. Let's start with that, and what you've been.
So so far for the content strategy for 2018, it's been primarily focused on the group. So you guys have seen that, I still post in here every day. I'm showing up, I'm supporting. There's a solid mix of value, networking, collaboration, bit of promotion, and there has to be that mix of it. So we've also taken some steps to move on to Instagram. Actually taken steps away from media appearances. I haven't gotten interviews in a long time on purpose. I've been declining them. So that all came as a move to kind of focus my time. But now that we're at a different place, we can get like your help on the whole content strategy for all the other platforms.
Right. Media appearances, why did you
speak up a little bit?
Oh, media appearances, why did you cancel on them?
So the biggest thing I learned about media appearances is a lot of the times they don't result in direct traffic to a funnel and a sale. They're really, really good, especially if you're starting out and you want to break into an industry, you want to show up, you want to earn that credibility. But after I've done like over 100 media appearances, speaking gigs, blogs, podcasts, Facebook group interviews, all that. And they really, really help, especially in your first year or two of building your influence. After that, it's not as high of an ROI of your time, and I had more important things to focus on.
Got you. Okay, so in terms of like scaling your business and stuff, how has social media helped you in 2018?
Great question. So I think 2018, how it's helped a lot is really solidifying the positioning that I've built over 2016 and 17. So anytime somebody asks in a group, says, hey, what's the best place to learn about Facebook groups? One of you guys tags me. And I'm so grateful for that. Like that's so cool to see. And that's just one piece of social media. Number two is having that relevancy with those people who come into your audience, because they want to consume your content, they want to show up, they want to enjoy it, and just keeping the group going all throughout the year has resulted in thousands of new members, thousands of new leads, and helped me keep my online presence going strong.
Got you. And what would you say the biggest pitfalls? What would you say the biggest pitfalls you've experienced from going through this journey, and what can people be aware of? What should they be looking out for?
Yeah, definitely. So I think some of my biggest challenges with social media is figuring out, where to put my time so that it actually turns into sales, that actually is meaningful growth, meaningful leads, meaningful conversations. Where especially in like 2016, when I was still trying to figure out this whole game with groups, social media, I was like all over the place, but I wasn't concentrated. I didn't have focused efforts anywhere really. So once I really started to focus more on the group in like 2017, that's when everything started to blow up and take off in a lot bigger way. So does that answer your question?
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so you spoke to me about going from 0 to 6 figures, quote unquote, winging it. Okay? And you said to me that if you want to go from six figures to 7 figures, you need to do things differently. And actually start building serious systems and build an actual company out of it. Can you talk us a bit through that and the mindset shift you had?
Yeah, definitely. So 0 to 6 figures, especially using social media, is very simple. Let's take a look at the money math, guys. 6 figures in profit, even if you have some expenses. Let's say you spend, $20,000 in a year on something like an assistant or softwares or events, that kind of stuff. You only need to make $10,000 a month to be making a 6-figure income with an online business. And with business models out there like courses, coaching, software, all this stuff, the expenses are really, really relatively low. So in me getting from that 0 to 6 figures the first time, it took me a couple years to try and figure out how it all worked. But the number one factor was audience growth. Because if I doubled my audience, I could double my sales. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going all in on audience growth. But you have to pair that up with sales funnel stuff too. The thing is, there are 2.6 billion monthly active users on Facebook. I think you guys can find at least 1,000, if not a few thousand of those people who need your help. And then out of those few thousand, just a small percentage are actually going to pay you for that help. So that's one thing that I've always kind of reminded people is 0 to 6 figures is not that tough. If you go out, you show up, and you collect these like-minded people who have interests, who have problems, who have needs, and you position yourself as the person to help them. It's like playing the game on easy mode, really. So what happened in between the 0 to 6 figures the second time? So I took my other 6-figure company, Group Funnels, to 6 figures in 6 months. And that happened a whole lot faster because I already had the audience, already had the authority, already had the customers, and we're able to grow that to, I think, over 750 customers now in the last year. We launched that just about a year ago, brought it to 6 figures in 6 months, and we're just going to keep growing it from there. So I think the big difference in between, growing from 0 to 6 figures and 6 to 7 is the reliability and predictability of your traffic. Where 0 to 6, all you have to do is go and just kind of wing it, throw a bunch of stuff on the wall that's targeted, relevant, show up. You can try all these different tactics, and it's not going to be that tough to bring in 10K plus a month. But if you're trying to bring in 100K plus a month, that's where it gets a little stickier. So that's what the path I'm on for next year is. I want to figure out how to do that, change up my content strategy a little bit there, change up how much I'm investing in marketing, and just blow it up.
Cool. That's interesting, actually. I didn't know that one. Cool. So, and this now has led you on to spending 5 figures a month, or on marketing. I want to know more about this, and I'm sure everyone else wants to know more. So if you're spending any money on marketing, whether it's $20, $200, $2,000, $200,000, you have to be confident that you have a path to an ROI. So it took me a long time before I had the confidence to start spending more money on marketing. In fact, I didn't even really spend money on ads until I was already making 6 figures because I knew I had an offer that converted. So that's step number 1, getting an offer that converts that people want and people are buying, because you don't want to invest in traffic to that until you know it works. So once I knew it worked, I was more comfortable spending on marketing to help get it out to more people. So that was the first real marketing dollar I spent, was earlier in 2017 when I hit that 6-figure mark. I knew I was onto something, so I could start spending more money on ads. Cool thing is, with a Facebook group where you're generating a lot of the leads there, my marketing budget was more focused on just retargeting. I didn't have to go out and find cold leads. I already had an email list of I think 5,000 at that point. And I was able to retarget those people, get them back into the offers, and have some crazy ROIs. 1 month we had $950 in advertising and $57,000 in sales. Now that does not happen if you were paying for cold ads and retargeting. But if you're doing retargeting for a warm audience you already have, sky's the limit on that ROI number. So that helped me a lot in growing everything, and having a very high profit business was already having the audience through the Facebook group. So on top of that, I kept ramping it up. I hired an ad manager.
you know, a few $1,000s a month. I started spending more on ads, doing more different campaigns. And I think the bigger move more recently that helped me be comfortable now spending 5 figures a month on marketing across social media managers, ad managers, and advertising spend was having a evergreen webinar funnel. This is very different than launch marketing. This is very different than, you know, just getting people into a lead magnet or opt-in or a chatbot or whatever. It's getting people into something that gives them an offer and gives you a quicker path to an ROI. So that's where I was like, okay, cool. The webinar is working. We're getting some sales. Let's get some more. Let's spend a bunch of money as long as it's coming back. So if the ROI is there, there's no reason to not keep spending a whole bunch.
Interesting. And as soon as you came to me and said you wanted to become omnipresent, can you speak more about that as well?
Yeah, so the omnipresence is really big for 2 reasons. Number one, people consume content in different ways. So some people might want to just listen to podcasts. Some people might like YouTube. Some people might hang out in Facebook groups. Some people, you know, they check their emails, they check their chatbots, whatever. If you can make sure you have a presence in a few different places, you're good to go. So the 4 core places that I have done consistently have been, number 1, Facebook group, number 2, email marketing, number 3, chatbots. Guess how much money you have to spend on marketing to do those? $0 besides paying for your chatbots and paying for your email marketing service. So for like less than $100 a month, you can build a giant audience there and reach people very quickly. And then I added in the Facebook ad stuff later on. So that was kind of the 4 core pieces of omnipresence, because everybody checks their email, everybody is hanging out on Facebook, you know, everybody's seeing Facebook ads. So I knew those would be the places that I needed that were very foundational. Then I started branching out into more channels as we're doing, you know, opening up the podcast again, getting onto YouTube, all this stuff. And this is also kind of a long-term brand building thing. What I want you guys to understand too is having an audience on social media that even has a general interest, you know, something like this group where it's, you know, pretty general. It's millennial entrepreneurs. It's not millennial Facebook group builders, you know, and there's a lot that you could do with that going forward. So, you know, in 2 years from now, if I want to launch a t-shirt line about entrepreneurs, dang, Jay already beat me to it. He's got some awesome shirts. But if I wanted to do that, I could. If I wanted to do a big business conference, I could. And I could already have the audience for that. So investing into your brand future, into the long term, and collecting a lot of different people with similar interests, even if it's not super, super niche down interests, can unlock a lot of opportunities. So that's a big part of my goal in investing in that brand for 2019 is be on more platforms. And I couldn't do that until I could hire AJ and get him to help me out with that. So I've been good at doing, you know, the stuff I need to do with the Facebook group, emails, chatbots, and I hired somebody for Facebook ads. But now I got AJ's help, so he can help on a lot of the other things. So that's kind of what omnipresence sounds and looks like to me. If this is making sense, you guys, let me know in the comments. Let me get some feedback, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, just to bust the myth, one question: is email marketing dead?
No.
Are you sure?
100%.
There you have it. Okay, on to the next question. So what will you be doing differently in 2019? What are the main areas that you're going to be focusing on? Maybe the first 1 or 2 areas that you're going to be giving your focus on.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through that and your goals as well?
Definitely. So I think the first focus, especially for content marketing, is being able to repurpose more stuff. So for example, you guys are watching this on a live stream right now, or you're listening to it on a podcast, or you're watching it on YouTube, or you're seeing a quote posted somewhere else. I don't know yet. We're going to take this interview and we're going to put it in a few different places. So like we have enough content in my group to write 10 volumes of encyclopedias. That's a lot of stuff, you know? But we have never been good at republishing, repurposing, putting it on different platforms because I just didn't have the bandwidth to do it. So now that we got AJ, got some help there, got some more plans and processes in the works, we're going to be able to spread that same exact message that we created once onto different places. So that's going to help out a lot going forward in 2019 for the content strategy. But as for the overall business strategy, lead generation strategy, it's more about simplification than overcomplicating. We want to have one amazing webinar funnel that sells one amazing product, upsells the software, and has that as the main revenue generator for everything. I don't want to do a bunch of side projects. I do some events here and there, but yeah. So that will be the core focus, because then I'm not pulled off on doing all these other projects, all these other things. I won't be traveling as much either. Love traveling, but I'll only be in a few destinations next year compared to like the 15 countries I was in this year. So yeah, less movement, more focus, and yeah.
Interesting. Going off topic, right? I'm curious. Who does Arnie Gisby listen to? Who are your mentors?
Oh, so many of them. so many of them. There's a lot of people who've had a impact on me in different ways. And the cool thing is I like to learn from different people, even when they have conflicting viewpoints. Because a lot of times they'll have good points. So will the other person who is conflicting to them. But you just have to kind of assimilate it and figure out, what actually works for you. Because like I know some people that are like, oh, you have to do launches. Big launches is the best way to get 7 figures, and blah 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 blah. And then I know other people that are like, launches are dumb. Why wouldn't you just build a webinar funnel or something else that sells all the time? And they're both not wrong. They're both making millions of dollars. Yeah. So I do both. So let's see, for main mentors, I think number one is Dan Henry. So I've been following Dan for about 2.5 years. I got in his program. I was like one of the first 10 students, and now he has like over 3,000. He's made like $4 million with that course. And I think the biggest thing that helped me there was understanding how direct response copy worked, how funnels worked. And then I was able to take that and help a lot of clients with it, really kick off my service-based business for copywriting, for funnels, and make them a bunch of money, make me a bunch of money, and then transition some of those skills later on. Let's see. Sean says, not sure if it's just me, but I can't hear you. I really hope it's just you, because we're already like 20 minutes in. Hey, who else is on the stream? Can you hear anything? Man, that would suck.
Holy crap.
Anyways, if you're watching, let me know. Leave a comment if you can hear anything. That would be awesome. Yeah, fill me in. But anyways, yeah, some other mentors. I've had mentors in all different types of areas. Another one is Jeff J. Hunter. You guys may know him. Okay, cool. Somebody else can hear. Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Good to know. Good to know. No busted audio. That would suck. Another mentor is Jeff J. Hunter. He's a good friend of mine. And he has a company that helps people get virtual assistants and manage their team and scale up. And really, like, I learned so much from him. Like, we're like polar opposites in terms of the stuff that we know. Yeah. Like, I'm a lot more of a marketer. He's a lot more, systems, organization based. And we've helped each other a lot in bridging the gap between the two. So I figured out how to hire, how to get organized. Always a work in progress. I still like to wing it. But yeah, huge shout out to Jeff Hunter on helping out in a few areas. So he's the man, very, very smart guy. And yeah, I think like there's so many other people that have been mentors to me in smaller capacities, where even if it's just I read a blog post of theirs or a Facebook post of theirs or check out a video of theirs, I'm like, that's a really cool idea. I'm going to take that, I'm going to learn from it, I'm going to use it. So it doesn't have to be like some years-long mentoring relationship or coaching relationship for you to look up to somebody and learn from someone, because everybody has their own specialties. So get help from a lot of different people.
Interesting. Let's do some random ones. So what's your top, you listen to podcasts, right?
Not really.
Not really?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, so that's another funny thing. Even when I had a podcast, I didn't listen to podcasts. I didn't want to try and sound like everybody else. So I was like, all right, well, I got an idea for what I want to do, what I want to bring to the table. Let's do that. Actually, you know what? I do listen to a couple podcasts here and there. One, Get Your Mind Right by Ryan Stewman. Awesome, short, motivational stuff. Good knowledge bombs. Buddy JR's got an awesome podcast. I tune into that every now and then. He's right over there. And yeah, so not too many podcasts, but yeah, I'll check them out.
Okay, cool. If you were stranded on an island, what book would you be reading? And it can only be one book. What would you take with you? Okay.
There's got to be a book on how to escape a stranded island.
I mean,
ask that a different way.
Do you have a favorite book that you love to read?
So a few books I've read multiple times. Number one's called Do Story, How to Tell Your Story So the World Listens. That one will help you in so many ways with marketing, storytelling, conversations, everything, because you understand the elements of the story and how to pull them out in different ways, appealing to different senses, highlighting certain things, leaving certain things out, and really trying to prove a point with the story. So for persuasion and storytelling and engagement, awesome book. Also, .com Secrets is a classic. If you are trying to market anything online, you haven't read .com Secrets, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. I've read that one probably 5 times, read Expert Secrets a couple of times as well. Let's see, another one is, what's it called? Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. And that's by Robert Cialdini. And I've read that one probably 5 times as well. That one has just so many very foundational things about sales, persuasion, conversation, helps for copywriting, helps for just learning the very core principles of sales and persuasion and how people's brains work within that. So awesome books for sure.
Cool. So, when you read these books, do you immediately take action into maybe a Facebook post or an advert that you're going to run?
Yeah. So the thing with me, like those types of books especially, is I haven't read them front to back 5 times. I have, read them in their entirety first usually, and then I will go back and revisit the sections depending on what I need. So like recently I've been working on the webinar, so I revisited the storytelling book and, got the chapters out of that I needed to get out of that. I kind of treat books like, a course or a product that I need to go into and get what I need to get. I don't have to just sit there and read for leisure all day and say, oh yeah, that was really good stuff. I want to say, I'm going to use that. Here's where I use it. Interesting.
Because many people are taught to read from front to back, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And that's good for the first time around too. Like learning anything, like whether it's a course or a book or anything else, you want to go front to back first to get a solid grasp of all the concepts, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be learning stuff for the first time. Like think back to grade school. You're learning math and things like that. You don't just learn how to do the thing once. You practice it. You show up. You try it again. You try a different angle. You try a different equation. You have a quiz. You have a test. You have this. You have that. You have homework. People somehow think that education is different now that we're not in first grade. It's the same. You have to learn it, practice it, try it again, see it from a different angle, hear it from a different perspective, and really get it settled in. And that's how you get towards mastery.
Interesting. Okay, I think we're good to go here. So let's wrap things up. And one last question is for our listeners. It's like, what would you advise or suggest the listeners here to do in the next 30 to 60 days, or even the 12 months that are coming, like 2019? What would you advise them to focus on to grow their business?
Yeah, so I think especially in terms of content marketing, kind of topic of the stream, figure out the stuff that you don't want to do. So a lot of people ask me, how are you so productive when you travel? How do you do all this? How are you always showing up online, blah, blah, blah? It's because I know where I don't want to show up. I know where the tasks I don't want to do. So your not to-do list is more important than your to-do list. Setting boundaries for yourself, all that. So once you got to figure out how to set boundaries on where you're spending your time, especially social media, whether it's producing content, consuming content, all that, figure out, okay, cool. This platform, I tried that, I posted it a couple times, it's not working for me. Cool, cut it out. Don't waste time on there. Don't keep doing something if it's not working. Get focused on where your stuff is that's working, double down. That's the only way I was able to grow my group so big, because I wasn't focused on anything else. Like when I was really focused on this just this group. And when it started blowing up a lot, I wasn't on Instagram, I wasn't on Snapchat, I wasn't on LinkedIn, I wasn't on Twitter. I was in the group. Here we are, 70,000 members later. So get focused, drop more stuff, and that will make everything easier.
Boom, we're good to go.
Awesome. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to stick around for some more episodes of MECTV. We've got a bunch coming into the unit section. We've got the podcast coming out very soon. YouTube, you might even be listening to this on the podcast or YouTube right now because it's going in there. So super excited, and everybody say thanks to AJ for helping out, coming on, and helping us get some more content out to you guys. Really look forward to helping you guys blow it up in 2019 and beyond. So thanks for coming by, everybody.
Peace.
See ya.